What's happening, guys? It's your boy Robert C coming back at you with another panning video. For this one, we got GoldNuggetSales.com newest edition, Coyote Creek, Grants Pass, Oregon, Paydirt. Now let's see it in the pan. Nice. Let me get everything unpacked and I'll get back to you in a minute. Alright guys, so we're back, and like I said, we got GoldNuggetSales.com newest edition, Coyote Creek, Grants Pass, Oregon, Paydirt. And it's guaranteed 1 gram. I received the email maybe a week or two ago about this. But anyway, let's crack it open and see what we got going on. As always, we'll save that for later and squirt it out. Let's check this out. We got some bigger rocks in there. Check it for magnetics. Believe it or not, for most GoldNuggetSales.com Paydirts I have panned out, I haven't really gotten a batch with a lot of black sands. So, with that said, we won't be doing that on this one. Let me get everything classified down, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Alright guys, so we're back and we got everything classified down into 5 different sizes. What I mean by 5 different sizes, we got these 4 sizes right here. And then we got the plus 1/4 gram stuff right here. I can't stress it enough, guys. This Paydirt felt like a little bit damp to me, right? So there was a lot of dirt stuck on these rocks. So if you get bigger rocks in there where the dirt's sticking to them, always make sure you put them in a separate pan and rinse them off, because there can be gold in there. But we will do that when we get into it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Anyway, guys, let me get you flipped around, set up, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Alright, guys, we're all set up. And as always, a little bit of jet dry to break the surface tension of the water so the small gold doesn't float away. And we'll start with this. Like I said, guys, if you get bigger rocks, dirt does stick to them. So make sure you rinse them off, because there can be some small gold stuck in there. And as you can see up in here, there's some small dirt that I rinsed off these rocks. So get it all up here. You just never know, guys. You don't want to, just don't want to assume to toss them big rocks and you might not get. And we'll do our best to wash all the small stuff out of there, right? Because of course it's going to be easier to wash the smaller stuff out of there than it is the bigger stuff. You can move it around and try to make it easier. You can move it around, see what you see. You can pick the bigger ones out and just toss them in there once you got them all rinsed off. Basically, you're gonna start rolling it back and just keep your eye out, you know. Keep your eye out. See if there's any little pebbles in there, which I don't see none. So that's the plus side. So we'll take it down to the next size and get right back to you. Alright guys, we're back and here's our next size, which is the smallest classification, and we'll start off with about that much and see what we're working with, considering it's one of their newer Paydirts, and always test out the waters, right? Always take your time, enjoy yourself. You're not in a rush, it's for enjoyment. And I said I was going to do this on every video, so for any new panner out there, a catch pan is always a good idea, just in case. Because as you can see, if I do this right, and for some reason you don't get your guaranteed amount, you think you missed some, you could always go back at the end and all your tailings are in that pan. And we'll slowly roll this back and see what we're working with, guys. I could already see a small little piece of gold right up there, starting to poke through. This is a little bit more water than I'd like. I like to use as little water as possible. And I'm already starting to see some nice gold up in there, guys. I've purchased Paydirt off of gold nugget sales multiple times, and they never disappoint. And you know, 9 times out of 10 you'll definitely get more than the guaranteed amount, and that is just based on my experience with them. Great company, they offer great Paydirts, and I always enjoy painting their Paydirts. Boy, there's some small gold in there. Gonna have to roll it really slow. So there it is, guys. First little test pan. Got some nice shiny in there. So let me get through the rest of this, and I'll bring you back in on the next size. Hang tight, guys. Alright guys, so we're back and we're down to the last little bit of the smallest. And as you can see, got some nice yellow in there. And it primarily was, you know, took me about three or four pans, about the same amount of gold in each. So we'll get that sucked up in the snuffer bottle right there. And we'll move on to the next size. And there's only a little bit of that, so I'll dump all that in there. And keep in mind, guys, if you're doing a pay dirt that's a little murky and you're using a catch pan, right? You go like this, and you're trying to clean up the murkiness, but you're dumping the murkiness right back into your catch pan. So then when you try to, you know, so you could always come over here, get a little bit of fresh water in there, so that way. But you don't need to do that right away. You can do that once you pan it down to a reasonable amount to pan back. As always, if you're panning the murky water, you got to keep your eye open. You got to keep your eye a little bit more peeled for gold when you're rolling back. So we got that in there. I could pan it down a little bit more, but we'll work with that. And we'll pan this back and see what we got going on in this classification. Starting to see a little bit of shiny poke up through there. Give it a little shake. Move some stuff around a little bit. And then I'll dump this off the back pan right into my tailings. So I'm working with a little less dirt rolling back up on me. Put a little bit of fresh water in there. And we'll go again. Sometimes if you get too much dirt in the backside when you get it just roll up like that, you'll find it rolling up to where your gold is. So you could always just keep your eye out and dump it out the backside of the pan. We got a nice smile in that classification. Check that out, guys. So what we'll do is we'll get that sucked up in the snuffer bottle. And we'll just keep you guys going till the next classification. Might find a little pebble or two in this. I think we're getting pretty close to our gram with what we got out of the two smaller classifications, but you know, you just never know. I wouldn't doubt finding any. As you can see in the pan, we got quite a bit of organic materials, and it claims it's you'll find natural organic material. You might even find, like, you know, glass or natural stuff that occurs when they're digging up the dirt. It's the dirt they dig up is unsearched, and then it's seeded. So you could actually find extra real gold in there that was in the dirt itself. And we got enough rolled back. Put a little fresh water in there, and we'll roll this back and see if we got anything showing in this. And there is, guys. There is. Nice bit of gold in that. Nice gold in that, guys. Oh, see what I mean? You see that slide back right there? It didn't get out of the pan, but it got back here, guys. So always keep your eye open when you're doing that back pan on the bigger pieces. Getting that tailings of dirt out there, because it will slide on you, especially if you give it if it's a little round pebble and you give it a little too hard of a tussle, too hard of a backspin, she'll roll right back, and hopefully you catch it before it rolls out of the pan, just like I just did. But either way, if you're a beginner, have no worries, because you did it right in your catch pan and you could repan it. So there we go, guys. Check that out. We will suck that up in the snuffer bottle. And last little bit, I doubt we'll find any in this, but it was wet, murky. It was wet and murky, so always rinse your stones off. You do not want to miss maybe a possible chance of finding a little nugget that size. If you did find a nugget that size, it would probably be around 1/4 gram, which I believe we got most of our gold out of it already. So I highly doubt there's any pieces in here. But always rinse, because you never know. So with this, it's not, you don't have to go crazy. You could have that much in the pan right here. Just roll it back a little harshly and keep your eyes peeled. See it moving around. If there is a piece of gold in there and it's rinsed off, there's no doubt you will see it. If you get a little hump in there, just give it a little shake. And again, just keep your eyes peeled. If there is a piece of gold in there and it was rinsed off, there is no doubt you will see it. As expected, nothing in there. So let me get this all cleaned up and I'll get right back to you with a bottle dump. Alright guys, we're back. We got everything cleaned up. All our gold is in the snuffer bottle. Always when you take the cap off, look under, make sure nothing's stuck up in there. And as always put a little bit of extra water in there, swish it around. Make sure you get all that gold out of there. Give it a tap. And there you have it, guys. Let me see if I can get some of this soap off of here. There you have it, guys. The gold we recovered. So let me get this all dried out. And we'll break the scale out and see how much we got. Hang tight, guys. Alright, guys, so we're back. We got everything dried up and cleaned up. And this is the gold we got. Anyway, guys, the only thing left to do is fire up this scale. And let's see how we did. Again, this Paydirt was promised 1 gram. I really should invest in a brush. It's been mentioned a couple times. 1.060. And that's awesome. Like I said, guys, it was a really murky Paydirt, but it was absolutely a great Paydirt and a really good time with an overpromised return. Again, this is GoldNuggetSales.com newest edition, Coyote Creek Grants Pass, Oregon edition. And I suggest if you're into panning, you go over there and check them out. Maybe get yourself a bag and try it out yourself. Anyway, guys, I will leave the link in the description as always. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.